For anyone who is looking to pick up a Mac with M1 chip in them, well, you basically have 4 options: the MacBook Air, MacBook Pro 13-inch, Mac Mini, and iMac 24-inch. I myself got an iMac 24-inch recently, but I am replacing it with the Mac Mini. I'll tell you why I replaced it and why you might want to consider it too in today's video. Let's get started. So I was using a 2018 MacBook Pro 15-inch until a month ago. It started acting up weird, and also it was not powerful enough for my video editing needs. I was on the lookout for a new machine. I use Final Cut Pro for my editing, so I was looking at a Mac. Also, it had to be reasonably priced. Considering the performance for price from the M1 chips, I had 4 options: the MacBook Air, MacBook Pro, Mac Mini, and the iMac. Since all of them had same chip, their performance was identical for most part. Since video editing is my primary usage, I need a bigger screen with good resolution. I can hook up an external monitor to the MacBook Air and the Pro, but mobility is not an important factor for me. My options were Mac Mini and the iMac 24-inch. Since the iMac already comes with an amazing screen, I got the iMac 24-inch a couple of weeks ago. It was an 8-core CPU, 8-core GPU, 8GB RAM with 256GB storage. I had a simple setup and hence didn't need anything extra to complete my setup. I even reviewed it, which I will link it in the description below. It worked well for me for the most part. But then when I was editing in the Final Cut Pro with 4K footage and multiple layers, I could see that the RAM was not sufficient. I experienced frequent memory pressure which slowed down my workflow. So I wanted to replace it with 16GB memory instead. That's when I figured out that however nice this iMac hardware is, I'm overpaying for a lot of stuff which I don't use at all. Don't get me wrong here, the iMac is a great machine with some amazing hardware at a very reasonable price. But it's just that I'm paying for things that I'm not using. Let me explain. My main requirements for my needs were M1 chip Mac with 16GB RAM and a big screen with good resolution. The iMac sure has these things, but what it also has is a great FaceTime camera with superb mics, Apple Magic keyboard with Apple Magic mouse, extraordinary speakers, magnetically attached power cables, a 12mm slim, sleek design. I almost never use FaceTime camera on my computer, and I always edit with my headphones on, so I don't need an amazing speaker. The Apple keyboard is nice, but $100 is too much while I am comfortably happy with the Logitech keyboard. I'm not a big fan of the Apple Magic mouse either. The iMac is always sitting on a desk up against the wall, and I never see how slim or sleek it is. A MagSafe magnetic power cable makes sense for a laptop where you constantly plug and unplug while traveling. But on desktop, I almost never plug and unplug often. But still, I was paying for all those things, a considerable amount. So I researched the Mac Mini and went with my own setup. Here's what I did. I got the 8-core CPU, 8-core GPU Mac Mini with 16GB RAM and 512GB storage. It cost me around $1,100. Then I got a Dell 27-inch 4K monitor for $350. I also bought a Logitech Mac keyboard for $30. I had a bunch of mice lying around in my home, so I didn't have to buy one separately. I used the Microsoft Sculpt ergonomic mouse. I was using this mouse anyway with the iMac as well. That's it. Everything put together cost me $1,480. A similar configuration iMac would cost $1,900. So with over $400 to spare, I can buy a better sounding speaker and the Magic keyboard with still some cash left. The Dell 27-inch monitor I have is nowhere close to iMac 24-inch 4.5K Retina display. The iMac display was much better with better colors and resolution. But that's a trade-off I'm okay with, considering the value I get out of this monitor. Now don't get me wrong. This is not a fair comparison by any means. With this kind of design, with such a good quality screen and camera and speaker and the keyboard from the iMac, it might cost something similar with the Mac Mini as well. But with the Mac Mini, I get the option to put my money where I think it's necessary, while I get not to spend on something which I don't need. You like it or not, you're gonna get the MagSafe cable with the FaceTime camera and Magic keyboard and the Magic mouse with the iMac. Once the setup is done, my experience is almost almost identical with similar performance as the iMac. Editing my video on my Mac Mini is an amazing experience and my workflow is so much faster now. This setup might not be for everyone. You might need an all-in-one setup for which an iMac would still be a better computer. Or you might need to carry it around, for which MacBook Air or Pro might be better. But if your needs are similar to mine, then you should consider Mac Mini and save over $400. So I hope it helped you in some way in making a purchase decision. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. See you in the next one. Bye bye.